To chat a little bit more about how India stands and what the rise of FDI would mean for the India story as a whole is Archana Khosla, founder partner at Vertices Partners, a boutique law firm. Archana, lovely to have you with us in our studios itself. I want to talk about what the overall growth outlook is in terms of which sectors you see opening up as attractive FDI destinations in India.
Sure. Thanks, Avan and Tanveer, for having me here. Well, if you look at the trajectory of foreign investment in the last couple of years, it can very well be stated that India is now at a very good place. You know, with the kind of reforms the government is coming up with and the kind of sectoral caps which have opened up, I think it's dramatically improved. In my view, some of the sectors which would do well, one could be defense. Couple of reasons for that. One is that the sectoral cap has been liberalized in this sector. It's become now 100% automatic, out of which 49% is under the automatic route, and above that is government route. However, as long as it has access to modern technology, and another thing has been added which state for other reasons to be recorded. So this new addition for other reasons to be recorded just increases the scope of investment. The other important thing in this sector is that this whole Indian shareholding of more than 51% has been done away with. What this could do is that the foreign OEMs might now be interested in entering into more strategic partnerships with Indian companies to set up manufacturing of equipments in India and service the domestic industry, domestically as well as internationally. More so because of the cost of labor and the cost of manufacturing being much lesser in comparison. So for these reasons, I feel defense should do well in the coming years. The other important sectors could be pharmaceuticals, because that has opened up from being 100% government to now straight away becoming 74% automatic. So that could do well. The e-commerce marketplace sector, which is really growing very fast, that could do well.
But Archana, you know, as I'm looking at data for FY16, FDI inflow came in at about nearly $50 billion, up about 18–20%, right? I understand that defense is making a lot of headlines in terms of the potential there is to draw investments.
Sure.
But how much money do you expect to come in on a real-time basis? You know, this is great headlines that there are a lot of foreign partnerships being forged. New players are looking because now it's 100%. Open to foreign investors, but how much of that would translate into real numbers in terms of the inquiries that you've got within the industry, or the kind of numbers that you are hearing from your channel checks on the kind of interest?
Also, given the fact, if I'm not mistaken, that last year we didn't really see much in the defense sector at all.
Sure. So we also don't have much visibility on the number, but what we've heard is that it's definitely going to do much more, because last year, as you know, it had not done well at all. And also, you know, the worry which was there that what about the security of the country? So I don't think we need to worry about that so much, because it still needs to go through the Ministry of Defense, the Ministry of Home Affairs. So keeping all of these factors, it should pick up gradually.
Okay, I see that on the screen. If we could just play out that plate where we are talking about FDI flows in FY16, where services has garnered 7.5 billion of the overall pie. Is that pretty much mainstay, top priority, services?
Services is definitely done well, and in my view will continue to do well, especially, you know, with the advent of alternate digital lending, the fintech sector, that's attracting a lot of investors. Similarly, the edtech, the medtech sectors, you know, as long as the product is robust and the solution is mass scale, this sector will continue to do well.
You know, we're talking about FDI really opening up in a big way. So how would this really pitch the India story from an FII perspective? How would this really change the perspective? I mean, there's the Make in India initiatives that are being taken as well. So what is what according to you, with the talks that you had, how does this improve India's attractiveness as an investment destination?
So from an FII perspective also, if we look at the statistics, in March the kind of investments we have received from FIIs has, I think, overtaken the last 15 years. So that's the kind of growth we are looking at. And while a lot of credit may be attributable to the government, the kind of policies which have come out, but we can't take away the fact that liberalization of foreign investments has definitely accelerated this. more so in light of the composite caps for FIIs, FDIs, QFIs, because the more the caps increase, the same is applicable for FIIs
right,
as well.
Even in terms of FDI, I see more of these investments, and I don't have numbers to support my thesis, but I see a lot of these investments coming in by the private equity route, where there's more investment in minority stakes, then taking over control of businesses, or and then turning them around. So
Correct.
do you think that's going to be the trend, that we want to buy India, we want to do it in a selective manner, and we want to be minority shareholders rather than own businesses, or even have a stake more than 15 to 20%?
So Tanveer, it's going to take a little time for the investors to get comfortable. So they will be looking at minority stakes to begin with. All the more reason because of the regulations in India being a little, that clarity is not there. And, as the good part is that Finance Minister has now announced that FIPB is going to be done away with, which gives them that comfort that you have to go to just one authority. Otherwise, they are always squashed between different authorities. And, it's not just the percentage. There are a lot of other factors which have to be together dealt with for the foreign investors to feel comfortable. So they will tread cautiously, I would say.
But that is happening, right? We're
Absolutely.
moving in that direction.
Absolutely, we are moving in that direction. And it will happen very shortly with the liberalization and the reforms the government is taking. I think it should be happening very soon.
I see that auto remains the largest recipient of FDI inflow. I think this is FY16's data. Infrastructure, what's the problem there? What are your clients telling you about why they're not going to invest in Indian infrastructure, or why they're keeping away from the sector? Ports, coal, I think all of those segments, and defense we've already discussed, fail to attract the kind of money there is.
I think they're just very uncomfortable with the whole regulations, the conditionalities attached to each one of them. So I think they just want to wait and watch.
What would they want to see changing in terms of them to come, make that decision to commit capital?
I think the conditionalities need to be reduced.
Essentially on the execution risk?
Right.
Okay, Archana, I think on that very positive note, we should wrap it up with this discussion. Thanks for joining in our studios and giving us a sense of the overall FDI picture, the kind of flows that we've seen, which are the sectors that could see a boost in inflows as well.
Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/ETNow, and don't forget to click the like button. You can also follow us on Twitter at ETNowLive. To stay updated with all our programming, hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel by logging on to youtube.com/ETNow.